Hey guys, thanks for coming back and hanging out with me again. This is crack number two at splitting this image, Conjurer of Death, into two different layers so that I can affect the coloration differently. If you saw the last video, you know that I wasn't happy with the way it was turning out, so I had to get a little more precise with how I made the layers. So if I show you it's a little more precise, and hopefully this is going to work a lot better because, to be honest with you, I'm getting a little frustrated, and that happens. Art is not all yay. There are times where you get frustrated with what you're doing. So I am going to activate this lower layer because I kind of have an idea from before what we want to do up here on the top. And as you can see, you're going to see the whole picture, but once we start breaking off the color, it's going to be along here only. My blue box is around this particular layer here, not the one with the erasures on, with the erased part of the layer on it. So we're going to go in here into our adjustment layer, and we're going to start by, it's going to affect the whole picture. But let me show you something. So if we put a little bit of blue in here, where I'm comfortable with, maybe 25, maybe 30. Okay, I'm comfortable with that. We're going to click out of there, and I'm going to show you. Boom. See, this layer is going to be all of this coloration up here. We've got the blue and stuff here, but when we hide that upper layer, it's gone. And I'm a lot happier with where that seam is coming through, right in between these rocks here. Um, so back at it. We're going to go back into the adjustment layer. Now we've made it a little bit blue, so we don't have to worry about that. But it's kind of difficult for me to eyeball just this area down here. So I think I'm actually going to zoom up just a little bit and bring it down because maybe that'll help keep my eyeballs off the top of the page. Because really this line runs right along this rock ridge and right along the edge of the bridge here and then on this rock face here. So I'm actually going to move that up out of my way. But if we play with the tint here, we get kind of a cool thing going on there because we already put blue in it. I don't want to go too high on that side, but I do kind of like having a little bit of reddish in there. And we'll just drag this over. Yeah, I kind of like having a little bit of reddish in there, tint-wise. And I'm going to close that up a minute. Close that one because we don't need that. We don't need detail and sharpness. We just need our coloration here. And we're going to bring in, oops, there I go, starting on saturation again. I got to be on hue. I always do hue first. But more often than not, when I open this panel, it comes up on saturation. So I don't know why I haven't been able to figure out, hey, click on hue first. Um, like I said, I'm trying to make these a little lighter and a little, more fun. And it can be kind of a hassle to not play around a little bit, kind of like that. What do we get if we add a little more purple in? Make the purple a little more blue, I should say. I think that's the wrong way. We don't want it purple. Might want to bring it down just a little bit. Might want to bring this down just a hair to about 40. See if the magenta really, I think it's doing a whole lot inside of the area that we're monkeying with right now. So we'll move over to saturation and we'll saturate that blue a little bit. Kind of make it a dusky blue. I like that. See what the purple does to it. Kind of like that. Now we'll play with magenta. Oops, see how it pops up there and down there? Now, this isn't part of our picture that we're focusing on, but this is. So that's kind of interesting with the magenta down there. I don't want to overkill it. But I am going to hop back over to hue and see if we get much difference down there. So I'm kind of liking that. Oh, try the aqua. So I did not do anything with the aqua. And I'm not getting a whole lot there on hue. We do saturation, we're not getting a whole lot there. So that's perfect. So now if we go for our lightness, if we darken the blue, remember we're down here, because I just saw this up here trigger and I went, ooh, no, that's not what we're after. We're down here. I don't want to brighten it way up like that because that's not going to print well. I already know from experience, as little of my experience as there actually is, that that's probably not going to come out well. So we'll deepen the blue a little bit. We'll try and deepen the purple maybe. No, maybe we need to lighten the purple. Need to lighten the purple just a little bit. And we'll lighten the magenta just a little bit, I think. And I think that's going to do it on this side. So let's bring in that upper layer. And you can kind of see we've got this purpley cast down here, which is super nice. I'm really digging that. And then we're going to hide this layer. This will be way easier. We're going to highlight our upper layer, our visible layer. We got the blue box around there, and now we're going to go to adjust this layer. And we're going to bring in the temperature first so that we can get a little bit of blue. I think I'm going to leave that right about 40. And then we're going to bring in just a little bit of that reddish hue. It's going to deepen it too much, I think. Oh no, I've got an erased spot right there. That'll be interesting to see how that comes out. That must have been when I was moving the box around when I was erasing. I must have gotten just that little bit right there. But we'll see what happens, because I'm not opposed to a little spot being there. Might make something magical out of this. I think if we start off about there, and we start to run through our colors. There again, I'm not on hue. So now that's going to make it a lot more purple. But if I start with the purple and lean it towards the blue, we get into more of that bluish color. I don't want a whole lot there, but I do definitely want it to be bluer. If we do the red, because we've got that sky over there, nothing red. Orange, nothing really on the orange. Yellow, nothing on the yellow. Magenta, oh, that brings in a little more subtle purple in the background there. I don't want to make this super purple. Just don't. I don't want to make it super blue either. Kind of want to get a nice little balance. If we bring in some aqua. Nothing on the aqua. Alrighty. Getting a little too much purple in there. Darkening up the magenta some. Lightening up the purple some. Darkening up the purple some. Lightening the blue. Darkening the blue. Where would it I like that. So I'm going to OK that and bring in the bottom side. And I do like that. I really, really like that. So that erased spot must be in both layers. Or no. You know what we'll do? All we have to do is duplicate this layer. And it should be in between those two. Both layers. Okay, so we can't get away with duplicating that layer. So we'll remove that. And what we'll do is we will, whoops, helps if you click on the right thing. My goodness. From folder. So we will bring in another copy of that. And let me see here. That's got to go in between those two. So we get this right here. So we're going to have to jump into this layer. See, we can always fix problems. Can always fix problems. And whoops, make sure I was on the right one because I don't know if I was or not. Okay, so yep, that's the right layer. Okay, so we'll jump in on here and we should be able to quite quickly bring in some blue, bring in some purple, throw a little purple at it. Oh, that darkened the blue too much. All I'm doing is looking at that spot. I just want that spot to be a little closer to the surrounding area. So here's our spot right here. I think that might be close enough. So if we, oops, turn that layer off. So we are on the very bottom layer. Boom. We add in that layer, which looks terrible. But we add in that layer and our spot, although it's a little purpley, it blends in pretty darn good. That's not going to work. Maybe, since that hole's on both of them. There we go. Ah, figured it out. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, because that was kind of weird. So now we've got a grand total of 3 layers. We've got that one there, which is I just hid. So this is the layer that we did the coloration down here, and this is the layer where we did the coloration up here. So you can see how we affected that. Look at how much different that is. And it kind of stays right in this groove here. It looks pretty natural. I'm happy with that. And we just have this layer here because we had our little spot that I did right there. But there was nothing I could have done other than start the erasing process all over again. And why start the erasing process all over again when I can add another layer? Because that hole was in both layers. So I must have done it twice. I must have clicked on it somehow in both layers. But anywho, guys, this looks pretty darn good to me. This is way better than the one that I did before. So we got to put our logo on it. And the logo needs to be on top. There we go. And we'll shrink her down. And I think we'll put her over here. Kind of right in this area. I got to be careful about where I place logos because I know from experience that sometimes I got to shrink these puppies down in order to get them from side to side. And we're going to merge it all, and I will see you guys on the next one. Remember, let the chaos out.